Hi all, I'm Madhumitha, Assistant Professor, Department of Nutrition and Dietetics. Now I'm going to share with you all the role of dietary fiber in therapeutic nutrition. First of all, what is dietary fiber? Dietary fiber is a non-digestible form of carbohydrate because of lack of enzymes in our human digestive tract to digest it. And dietary fibers and lignin both are intrinsic. Only they are present in plants, and based on their water solubility, they are classified into soluble and insoluble fibers. Soluble fibers includes pectins and gums, and insoluble fiber includes cellulose and hemicellulose. Uh, but the total fiber is the sum of insoluble and soluble fiber. Soluble fiber, based on the word soluble fiber, it is soluble in water and it forms a gel in our stomach. The gel helps in slowing the gastric emptying, delays glucose absorption, and it blends the postprandial blood sugar spikes. Whereas insoluble fiber reduces the intestinal transit time and increases fecal bulk to promote digestive regularity. But both the soluble and insoluble fibers enhances satiety, helps in weight management, support cardiovascular and metabolic health. In addition to this, there is another fiber known as functional fiber. It is extracted or isolated from the plant sources to offer health benefits such as blood glucose regulation, lowering cholesterol and improved bowel regularity. The functional fibers includes glucans, cellulose, chitins, chitosan, fructans, gums, lignin, pectin, polydextrose and polyols. Phycelium, resistant dextrins and resistant starch. These are the sources of dietary fiber. Whereas insoluble fiber is present in cellulose, lignin and hemicellulose. In grains, they are present in the bran part, and in fruits, cellulose is present in apples and pears. In vegetables, they are present in beans, peas, cabbage family and root vegetables. Lignin is present in whole wheat and whole rye. In fruits, they are present in strawberries, peaches, pears, plums. In vegetables, they are present in mature vegetables. Hemicellulose is only present in grains in their bran pot and whole grains. These are the examples for soluble fiber, pectins and gums. Pectins are present in fruits, apples, citrus fruits, berries, especially strawberry, and in vegetables they are present in green beans and carrots. And coming to gums, gums are present in grains, that is oatmeal, and in vegetables, dried beans, vegetable gums. They are used in food processing industries. This is the chart. This represents how much fiber intake should a person take in a day. And coming to our main part, role of dietary fiber in therapeutic nutrition. In this, we are going to discuss 4 metabolic diseases. The first one is cardiovascular disease. As we all know, cardiovascular disease is a general term describing the diseases of heart and blood vessels. And studies have found that adequate daily intake of dietary fiber causes reduction in CVD incidence. Particularly, an increase of dietary fiber 7 gram per day lead to 9% reduction in CVD risk. This reduction is happening by 3 different mechanisms. First one is lowering serum lipid concentration, second one lowering blood pressure, and the third one lowering the inflammatory markers. The first one is lowering serum lipid concentration. In this, viscous fiber plays a major role. It reduces the serum cholesterol by 5 to 10%. This is performing this action by increasing bile acids fecal excretion, which in turn induces the liver to produce new bile acids from the serum LDL cholesterol. This in turn reduces the LDL concentration in our blood. And also, short chain fatty acids are also produced from fermented fiber by the colonic bacteria, and it is absorbed. This inhibits the liver enzyme HMG-CoA reductase. This is the essential enzymes for cholesterol synthesis. By this way, the LDL cholesterol in our body is reduced. The second mechanism is lowering of blood pressure. In this, 2 possible mechanisms are occurring. Related to fiber's ability to form gel, especially the soluble fiber forms a gel in the stomach and small intestine. It slows down the absorption of blood glucose and inhibit postprandial hyperglycemia, which improves insulin sensitivity by decreasing insulin resistance. This lowering in blood glucose level also lowers the blood pressure level also. And the other mechanism is high intake of dietary fiber associated with high potassium and magnesium have small effect on lowering blood pressure itself. And the third mechanism is reducing of inflammation by reducing the inflammatory markers. Diet high in dietary fiber is associated with reduction of inflammatory markers. Dietary fiber is a source of phytochemicals such as polyphenols. which are believed to influence the inhibition of nuclear factor kappa B, which in turn reduces the C-reactive protein and tumor necrosis factor alpha interleukin. These are the inflammation-inducing factors. The dietary fiber reduces the inflammatory markers, thereby reducing inflammation and CVD risk. And coming to our second metabolic disease, diabetes. Diabetes is a chronic metabolic disease characterized by high levels of blood glucose level, and in long term it damages the heart, blood vessels, eye, kidney and nerves. Dietary fiber and complex carbohydrates both are helping in type 1 and type 2 diabetes management. Thus, especially the diet high in dietary fiber lowers insulin requirements and increases peripheral tissue insulin sensitivity. That is, the insulin resistance is decreased here, but the insulin sensitivity is increased. Diet with high fiber, particularly soluble fiber, are able to slow down the glucose. As we discussed earlier, it forms a gel in our stomach and it reduces the glucose absorption from the food content. The viscous fibers are the major fiber. It forms a gel in our stomach and it reduces the glucose absorption after a meal. It does this job by 4 methods. First one is delaying gastric emptying time. The second one is forming gels with pectin or guar in the intestine. It in turn reduces the carbohydrate absorption. The third one is it forms a fibrous coat protecting the carbohydrate from the foods, and this protects it from releasing the glucose at a stage. And the fourth one is allowing the protected carbohydrate to escape into the large colon and where they are digested by the bacteria. Especially diets high in carbohydrate and fiber improve glucose metabolism without increasing insulin secretion. This mechanism is done by increasing the insulin sensitivity, whereas decreasing the insulin resistance. We all know fenugreek seeds. They are high in fiber. They are useful to diabetic patients to reduce their blood glucose absorption. It contains both two fibers, mucilaginous fiber and total fiber, to the extent of 20% and 50% respectively. And in addition to the fiber content, it contains an alkaloid trigonelline. It reduces the blood sugar level in patients. Then coming to the third metabolic disorder, obesity. It is a generalized accumulation of adipose tissue, that is more than 20% of desirable weight. High fiber foods and low calorie foods like whole grain, cereals and pulses are included in the diet of obese. This is because high fiber diet promote weight loss. Food rich in fiber are usually low in fat and energy because these foods are more filling and offer greater volume of food for fewer calories. High fiber delays hunger pangs and can therefore used to control obesity. High fiber increases satiety, delays gastric emptying by releasing gut hormones that delays the hunger pangs. Fiber acts as a physiological obstacle to energy intake by 3 mechanisms. First one, it displays available energy and nutrients from the diet. The second thing is it increases chewing, which limit intake by promoting the secretion of saliva and gastric juice, results in an expansion of stomach and increased satiety and reduction in rate ingestion. The third one is it reduces the absorption efficiency of small intestine. Studies have shown that people who consume more fiber weigh less than who consume less fiber. Thus, the source fiber intake has a role in weight control. The fiber plays a role in weight control by 4 methods. The first thing is more filling. It is the high fiber food is more filling because it absorbs water. The second thing is it increased the satiety level. The third thing, decreased gastric emptying. And the fourth one is reducing absorption efficiency of small intestine. This is our fourth metabolic disease, cancer. Cancer is a disease in which abnormal cells divide uncontrollably and destroy our body tissues. A large body of literature suggests that eating a variety of foods containing high fiber has a protective effect against cancer, especially colon cancer. The fiber plays a role in cancer by it dilutes the bile acids or bind it to the bile acids, thereby preventing its role in mutation or cell proliferation. And fermentation of dietary fiber produces short-chain fatty acids. It reduces the intestinal pH and it inhibits the conversion of primary bile acid to secondary bile acid, because the secondary bile acids are believed to be the mutation promoters in our intestine. Fermentation also produces butyrate in our small intestine, which is anti-neoplastic. And certain carcinogens present in the foodstuffs are hydrolyzed and combined with fibers when we take more fibers and are removed from the colon, and thus it prevents colon cancer. The bulk and water of feces may dilute the carcinogen to a non-toxic level. And dietary fiber exerts its beneficial effect by speeding the passage of feces through large intestine, so that carcinogens are contact with the intestinal wall for much shorter period of time. The incidence of bowel cancer is also apparently lower among those whose diet is rich in dietary fiber. These are my references, and thank you.